Welcome to MAT 2LB booklet number 5, Eating in Restaurants and Shopping for Food. This is the first lesson, which is Food and Tax. It deals with, this whole unit, in fact, it deals with working with money in the context of eating in restaurants and shopping for food. Our first lesson talks about some fairly straightforward transactions with food and tax where you get a particular item, we total up how much that item is with the inclusion of tax. And if you remember, at the end of booklet number 4, we talked about how to calculate tax, which is taking 13% of a total. We do that by dividing the 13% by 100 and multiplying it by whatever the amount of food is that we're going to be getting. And then, of course, adding that tax back to the total. Let's try example number 1. Calculate the cost of 2 cheese omelets, which cost $3.95 each, with HST. Let's go to step number 1. It's to determine the cost of the food itself. So first things first, how many omelets are we talking about? We are talking about, the question says, 2 cheese omelets. How much does each cheese omelet cost? $3.95. And when we type that into our calculator, we get 2 times $3.95. It gives us $7.90. Now that is what we call our food total. That's just the cost of the food. Step 2, we're going to figure out how much tax would be charged for $7.90 worth of food. We do that by first converting our HST percentage, which is 13. We divide that by 100, which gives us 0.13. And then we multiply that by our food total, which from the previous step was $7.90. Now let's type this into our calculator. 0.13 times $7.90, and it gives us, it gives us 1.027. Now that's too many digits for money. We're going to do a little bit of rounding here. The place that we want to round to when we're talking about money is the hundredths decimal place, which is 2 place values to the right of the decimal. So that's the one we want to round to right there. In order to round appropriately, we look to the digit after the place value we want to round to. It will tell us how to go about rounding. In this case, that digit is a 7, which tells us that we are going to take that 2 and round it up to a 3. So that is our HST on $7.90. The last step is to add that tax that we've calculated back to the food cost. So we have our tax, which we just determined was $1.03. We're going to add it to our $7.90. Again, you can type this into your calculator. And it's going to give us a total of $8.93, which we write in at step 4. So the total cost with tax, $8.93. Now there's a second example down here. What I'd like you to do is to hit pause at this point in the video and give this one a try on your own. And once you think you've got an answer, again, if you're not 100% sure of the steps, refer to the example that we just completed together. See if you can make it all the way through to the total cost with tax for 3 shrimp salads, as we see in example 2. And come on back when you've got that and we'll see how you did. Okay, so you're back. You've tried example number 2. Let's go through it together. Step number 1, of course, is to determine the cost of the food itself. We are asked to calculate the cost of 3 shrimp salads, each of which cost $6.50. So when we type that into our calculator, 3 times $6.50, it gives us $19.50, which becomes our food total. That's how much just the food piece costs. Now we're going to multiply the food cost by the 13% tax. Remember, we got to express that 13% as a decimal, so we take the percentage of tax, which is 13, and divide it by 100, which gives us 0.13. We multiply it by the food cost, which is $19.50, and we'll see what we come up with. So we have 0.13 times $19.50, and it gives us $2.535. Again, too many decimal places for money. We want to be rounding to the nearest hundredth, which is 2 decimal places to the right, or 2 place values rather, to the right of the decimal. So that place value is a 3. We're going to look to the digit after the 3, which is a 5, to tell us how to round. And that 5 tells us that we are going to round up. So we have $2.54. Step number 3 is to take the amount of tax we have, which is, as we just learned, $2.54, and add it back to the cost of the food itself, which was $19.50. Let's add these two together and it will give us our final answer. So $2.54 plus $19.50, it gives us $22.04. $22.04. That is our total, including tax, for the cost of 3 shrimp salads. If you have any questions about this, go back and redo example number 1 or example number 2, but if you're feeling good about it, at this point, head over to the worksheet and I'll see you in lesson number 2.